Today we'll explore a remarkable approach that has helped Amish communities grow up to 10 times more food with only half the effort. We'll look at how their focus on healthy soil, selective technology, and strong community ties results in thriving farms and bountiful harvests season after season. Number 1. Agricultural foundations. Many historical records and agricultural journals confirm that Amish farmers, particularly in regions like Lancaster County in Pennsylvania and Holmes County in Ohio, developed intensive yet low-impact farming methods over generations. One published report from the Rodale Institute highlighted that some Amish-run farms maintain yields comparable to conventional operations while using fewer chemical inputs. Part of the reason lies in their detailed focus on soil structure and crop variety. Families rely on decades of trial and error, refining approaches that fit local soil types and climates. By carefully analyzing how different plants respond to rainfall patterns, they minimize the risk of crop failure. In these communities, new members begin fieldwork young, absorbing practical tips from elders who've refined their craft over decades. Rather than relying solely on printed guidelines, they pass along intuitive knowledge, such as how to judge the right moment to till, or how to detect subtle leaf discolorations that signal a developing nutrient deficiency. This first-hand familiarity with each field's quirks allows them to manage the land with precision. They observe weather shifts daily, adapting schedules for seeding, cultivating, and harvesting, so that manpower aligns with nature's cycles. Scientists who've visited these farms often note how proactive this approach is. Instead of waiting for a problem to escalate, farmers intervene early, preventing large-scale setbacks. By managing challenges in real time, they maintain crop quality and keep labor demands steady. A significant hallmark of these methods is crop density. On many Amish farms, rows are placed closer than on large commercial farms because there's less need for massive machinery to pass between them. This higher density maximizes land use and helps shade out weeds naturally. Also, manures are often used in carefully measured quantities, supplying fields with a balanced array of nutrients. Data from university extension programs in Pennsylvania shows that well-managed manure applications can maintain or boost yields while protecting waterways from nutrient runoff. These communities aim to create a self-reinforcing cycle. Healthy animals produce valuable manure, which enriches soil, leading to more robust plant growth that then nourishes livestock. Such a pattern cuts costs on fertilizers and keeps external resource consumption low. Research also suggests that the organic matter in manure improves soil's water-holding capacity, critical during dry spells. Over time, this strategy avoids the pitfalls of chemical dependency, allowing each generation to build upon a thriving, biologically active soil base. Field experts believe this grounded approach underpins the often discussed feat of harvesting considerably more food per acre compared to more conventional models. Number 2. Observational pest management and mixed planting. Agricultural experts have long studied how Amish communities control pests without the sweeping use of synthetic pesticides. Researchers from the University of Guelph in Ontario reported that integrated pest management techniques, like placing insect-attracting flowers at the edges of fields or alternating rows of different plant species, can break pest cycles effectively. The Amish use these techniques not simply from theory, but as a collective tradition. If one family notices an uptick in pests, word spreads quickly, and methods such as floating row covers or beneficial insect releases might be employed. This tight communication loop allows the entire community to act before an issue becomes a full-blown infestation. Another tactic involves planting trap crops, which are more appealing to pests than the main harvest. For instance, sacrificial rows of certain leafy greens can lure insects away from cash crops. Since tasks like weeding and row covering are shared among household members, the extra time needed for these solutions is spread out. It feels more manageable because there's always a sibling, cousin, or neighbor to lend a hand. Additionally, some farmers rotate livestock through fields post-harvest, letting chickens or ducks feast on leftover pests. This uses nature's own cleanup crew rather than resorting to harsh chemicals. Researchers also note a strong reliance on companion planting. For example, tall plants might be grown alongside shorter ones that prefer partial shade, or nitrogen-fixing legumes might be planted next to crops that require high nitrogen. One documented case from an Ohio farm showed that strategically pairing corn with beans and squash, the classic Three Sisters approach, yielded better pest resistance and healthier soil. The beans naturally replenish nitrogen, the squash leaves shade the ground to discourage weeds, and the corn provides a sturdy stalk for bean vines. Observing how these systems cooperate is a core part of Amish practice. They don't treat each crop in isolation. They look for synergies that reduce labor and chemical needs. Rather than applying formulaic sprays or fertilizers, they create balanced microenvironments within the field. Because these families spend so much time working physically in the rows, they pick up on changes early. If a corner of the garden starts showing signs of aphids, they can isolate that area or introduce ladybugs quickly. This hands-on vigilance allows them to keep pest levels low, which explains why their yields remain high without conventional chemical interventions. Many agricultural professionals find this fascinating, as it demonstrates that close observation and mixed planting can replace a surprising amount of external inputs when properly managed. Number 3. Strategic use of horsepower and hand tools. Official statistics from counties with a strong Amish presence show that while farm sizes can be smaller than industrial operations, output remains impressive. One reason is their streamlined approach to mechanization. Horses are often used for plowing, planting, and hauling. Although this seems dated, it has surprising efficiencies. Academic papers on draft animal farming point out that horses cause less soil compaction than heavy tractors, which allows roots to grow deeper and draw nutrients more effectively. Additionally, horses provide natural fertilizer in the form of manure, keeping the nutrient cycle local. This combination means that each farm can maintain robust soil fertility over multiple seasons. Another element is the minimal downtime compared to machine breakdowns. When a horse is tired, it rests. When machinery fails, it might need specialized parts or technicians, halting work for days. The consistent availability of horsepower coupled with the communal labor pool makes for a flexible system that can adapt to sudden changes like a shift in the weather or an unexpected early frost. Families can reprioritize tasks quickly, redistributing people and horses to whichever field needs the most urgent attention. The cost of feeding a horse is offset by the benefits of a free local fertilizer source and the reduced need for expensive fuels or parts. Hand tools also play a major role. Walk-behind cultivators, scythes for cutting hay, and simple seed planters might look old-fashioned, yet they let farmers navigate tight rows and handle delicate tasks with precision. Research from agricultural historians shows that manual processes can be highly efficient on small plots, especially when workers have years of experience. A scythe, for example, might be slower than a tractor mower on large fields, but in smaller fields with varied terrain or many obstacles, it offers better maneuverability. This approach also fosters an intimate connection between farmer and field, allowing immediate feedback. If the soil feels too damp for cultivation, they notice right away. If certain plants appear stunted, they can investigate on the spot rather than waiting until a machine pass is scheduled. Over time, these micro-adjustments improve overall yields. It's an organic quality control system powered by human insight. Many small-scale farmers outside Amish communities now emulate these techniques, inspired by the balance of low-tech efficiency and high-yield outcomes. It might look labor-intensive, but the consistent daily effort distributed among several family members is often less draining than large-scale mechanized operations that rely on seasonal surges of labor. Because tasks are part of the daily routine, productivity doesn't rely on big external pushes, just steady, ongoing care. Number 4, financial and marketing structures. Contrary to stereotypes, these farmers often have a keen sense of local market dynamics and personal finance. While some sell their produce through auctions specific to the Amish community, many also engage with broader local markets or set up roadside stands. Agricultural economists note that this direct-to-consumer approach cuts out middlemen, letting farmers earn a fair price while keeping costs down. Fresh produce, eggs, or dairy products may be sold to neighbors who trust the quality and appreciate the lack of synthetic inputs. This stable local demand helps each farm maintain consistent income without needing massive production scale. Additionally, there's a collective mindset of living below one's means, which reduces financial pressure. Families often set aside funds for essentials, reinvest in seeds or tools, and keep debt minimal. Because they seldom rely on large-scale loans, they have a buffer against market fluctuations. If corn prices drop, for instance, they might pivot more heavily to selling baked goods, cheese, or furniture. That versatility acts as a safety net, making the overall system resilient in the face of economic changes. Some outside researchers highlight that small diversified farms commonly outperform large monoculture farms in terms of long-term profitability, once subsidies and large-scale machinery costs are taken into account. The Amish model showcases this diversification well. A single farm may produce dairy, vegetables, livestock, and handcrafted goods, ensuring multiple revenue streams. If one crop underperforms, the family can lean on the others. Sharing resources also strengthens the financial aspect. If one family needs help harvesting a bumper crop of tomatoes, multiple households pitch in without expecting immediate payment. The favor is returned when the second household needs assistance. Not only does this reduce labor costs, but it keeps the sense of community strong. On a broader scale, cooperative auctions and produce sales can match supply to demand across several towns. Families exchange surplus seeds or trading livestock, effectively building a microeconomy that doesn't depend heavily on outside credit or complicated supply chains. Observers remark that this methodical, tight-knit framework is a critical reason Amish farms remain economically stable when other small farms struggle. Number 5. Regenerative approaches and modern insights. Recent studies on regenerative agriculture highlight methods that mirror what the Amish have practiced for centuries: cover cropping, composting, minimal tillage, and biodiversity. Data from the USDA shows that farms using regenerative practices can achieve stronger yields over time, better drought resilience, and improved carbon sequestration in the soil. These communities often serve as living examples, showing what's possible with consistent land stewardship. For them, it's not a passing trend. It's ingrained in how they view their responsibility toward future generations. They embrace cover crops like rye, clover, or vetch to protect soil during off-seasons, building fertility and warding off erosion. This approach is gaining popularity among mainstream farmers who see the cost and environmental benefits. Scientists investigating carbon storage frequently cite Amish fields for their higher-than-average organic matter. Higher organic matter translates to enhanced soil structure, which allows water to penetrate more easily, reduces runoff, and fosters beneficial microbial life. All these factors combine to boost yields. There's also an emphasis on perennial plants, such as fruit trees or berry bushes, integrated with annual crops so that the land provides layered harvests and shelters beneficial wildlife. Some families even experiment with agroforestry, placing rows of trees spaced to allow ample sunlight for row crops. This integrated approach protects against wind, moderates temperatures, and creates habitats for pollinators. In terms of modern insights, these farmers selectively adopt innovations that align with their values and practical needs. For instance, some might install solar panels for powering electric fences or water pumps, as long as it doesn't tether them to a broader grid. Others consult soil testing labs to verify the balance of minerals like phosphorus, potassium, and magnesium, ensuring that compost applications are precisely tailored. The difference is that they typically avoid the trap of chasing every new gadget or seed variety. They test changes carefully, focusing on consistency and gradual improvement over big leaps. This measured approach is a lesson in sustainability. It helps avoid debt, prevents cultural disruption, and maintains the integrity of their community life. Their methods continue to evolve, but always through the lens of stewardship and self-reliance. Some extension agents from universities have found that working with Amish farmers involves deeper conversations about long-term soil health rather than short-term yield boosts or chemical fixes. That philosophy resonates with many environmentally conscious consumers who look for produce grown in harmony with nature. Overall, the system proves that by blending regenerative practices, purposeful technology, keen observation, and a cohesive community ethic, It's entirely possible to harvest an impressive amount of food without exhausting the land or the people cultivating it.